Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Joe with Hendo Daily, and for today's video, we're going to take a look at my top 5 favorite budget knives under $50. So, a week or two ago, I did a video on my top 5 EDC items under $50. So, go check out that video. But today, we're focusing mainly on the knives, and this is everything from my collection. I don't get knives sent to me. I'm not going out and buying knives just for these videos. I don't have that kind of time or money. So, we are strictly looking at what I've got in my collection and what I consider my personal top 5. A couple of them were close. They were just over that $50 range. So I really wanted to stay strictly $50 or under. This Boker is the only exception, but I'll explain that here in a little bit. And I wanted to leave multi-tools out of it because the only one I really would have thrown in there would have been the SOG Power Pint. And from what I've seen, honestly, I'm kind of getting tired of seeing it because it is just everywhere. I mean, it really is a good, decent mini multi-tool, right? But I wanted to leave this strictly just knives. So we'll go through these one at a time, give you a few quick specs, give it a rundown, and how I've enjoyed it and how it's performed for me so far. So this one, if you've seen any of my videos recently, is not going to be any surprise, and you've seen it a lot already. This is the Kizer Drop Bear Fixed Blade. You can get this one on Amazon right now for $39.99. So not a bad deal for D2 steel, G10 handles, comes with a lanyard, whether you like lanyards or not. I mean, at least they throw something on there. And one of the cooler parts about this is that they throw a pair of tweezers and a metal toothpick right in there built into the handle, which I think is pretty cool because I use tweezers and toothpick quite a bit. So whenever I'm carrying this one, I really like having that. But again, D2 steel, G10 handles, and this thing has performed just superb. Like, I've had no issues with it. It came pretty sharp right out of the box. I touched up the edge a little bit when I first got it just because I like messing around with it and, practicing my sharpening skills. But I've typically carry this on my uniform every day, and again, no issues with it whatsoever. It performs well, has cut through a ton of boxes. I mean, I'm not out doing any survivalist things with this knife by any means, but for a good solid budget EDC knife, an EDC fixed blade, I would recommend this 100 times. I mean, it really is just a great simple $40 fixed blade. And I've also got a video on the Sagewood Gear belt loop attachment that I put on the Kydex sheath it came with. I do have a video for that as well if you want to go check it out on the channel. But this is number one on my list of 5, hands down. I've carried this the most probably in the last several months since I've had it, and it hasn't let me down yet. So it's been a good knife. Haven't had to touch it up. Kydex sheath is good. There's no rattle in there. The retention on it is great, and it's got the tension screw on there as well to tighten or loosen it up. And ever since I've thrown that Sagewood Gear attachment on there, this has been my number one fixed blade EDC knife. So that's the first one. Next one is the Civivi brazen. You can get this one at Walmart for $49.30. So not a bad knife. Again, it's great Civivi quality and action. I really enjoy it. It's got the reddish, maroonish, I don't feel like I might be slightly colorblind. G10 scales, liner lock, which again is not my favorite, but it's not a deal breaker by any means. And it's one of 2 knives that I have that's a Tonto blade. But I think the Tonto blade on this looks really tough, and I like the look of it. I've just not carried a whole lot of them. And as you can kind of see, this one really hasn't been used and abused like some of these other knives I have. I haven't gotten to carry it and use it as much, but I put this in my top 5, 1, because it was under that $50 threshold, and 2, I feel like any Civivi that you pick up for under $50 is going to be a great budget knife. It's just a matter of finding your style and the design that you like. I mean, they've got so many different options out there. And I know Cut now is more of the budget knife brand, or from Civivi, but this thing has done real well, and I've carried it a few times in the last week or so, just because I want to get some more pocket time with it. I want to get some more use out of it. So I can't really speak to how well it performs, but I have owned and still own enough Civivis to say that I don't think that's going to be an issue. So if you're looking for, say, a medium size EDC knife, again, liner lock, G10 handles, D2 steel, coated D2 steel. You've got the thumb stud and you've got the flipper tab. So a couple different ways to open it up there. And there's a little spot back here for lanyard hold. I'm not huge on lanyards. I don't care if it comes with one like the drop bear did, but you do have that option if you want it. And again, great Civivi action. I've seen and gotten a lot of mixed feelings on Civivi just because it's Chinese made. That doesn't really bother me. A good knife is a good knife, no matter where it's from. And again, for $40, or I'm sorry, $49, it's not a bad deal whatsoever. So I'm hoping to get some more pocket time with this one, and get some use and abuse in on it, and really see how well it performs, just like all my other Civivi knives. So next up, we've got the Boker Trapper, and this is the rosewood handle. I picked this up at Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and the reason this one is in here is because if you look online right now, it's about $60. But while I was down there, they had a big sale going on, so I actually picked this one up, tax and everything included, for $40 out the door. So that's really not a bad deal at all. Boker is another brand that I think is just really well made. It's obviously a very old knife manufacturer. I love the history on it. I read up on them whenever I picked up this knife, and I think it's a great brand. They make, from all my experiences with them, the few that I've had, I think that they've all performed well, and I haven't had any issues with it yet. And I don't know, I wanted to pick this up because I haven't had a good solid, grandpa knife outside of a buck that I own. But it's been great. I use the spay blade for cutting some food, at work, whether it's cutting sausage, cheese, whatever. And then I use the clip point just basically for everything else. And it's D2 steel on this one. So that was something else that caught my eye, because I love D2 steel, and it helps make it it's a good budget friendly steel. So this one I've carried quite a bit as well. I have a little leather slip for it that I can either throw on my belt or in my pocket, but for the most part, I just throw this in my pocket whenever I do carry it. So that's just something that I kind of got used to, having it loose in the pocket, but doesn't bother me as much as I thought it would, not having a pocket clip or anything on there. But again, this is the Boker Trapper with the rosewood handles and D2 steel. Plus, I think everybody should have a good, a good grandpa knife. And I don't know, just been a great knife so far. I think it's really beautifully made. I love the looks of it. I love the rosewood on there. And yeah, it's been a great knife. Next up, we've got the Kizer Mini Militao with the brown and green G10. Again, D2 steel on this one. Liner lock, deep carry pocket clip with some fuzz that's still stuck in there. And this thing, honestly, I got this for Christmas last year, and I just love how it looks. I've looked at the Militao fixed blade and the full size Militao. I just think the lines of it look great. I think the blade shape is cool. I like the little cutout for the flick, or front flipper. Oh, that was bad. Or the front flipper. Great deep carry pocket clip, like most of Kizer's knives. And again, Kizer is one that is probably my second most carried brand in my knife collection, next to probably Civivi. I don't know, it's just a great knife. It's super fidgety. I like messing around with it. Front flipper. I don't know. It's been great. And again, I've had no issues with this knife. Came super like razor sharp right out of the box. And again, I think the aesthetics of this knife is what really drove me to want to get this. And it got a lot of pocket time when I first got it for Christmas. Carried it for for a month or two before my ADD kicked in and I started carrying something different every other day. But uh, and it goes along with the mini knives that I have. Mini being the smaller, not the several, but goes along with the mini collection that I like, and carrying a smaller knife for an EDC. And again, no complaints with this one so far. It's held up well. It's kept a good edge, and I think, like I said, just the aesthetics of it and the fidget factor of this knife is what keeps me carrying this thing, pr- pretty often. So that's what we got for this one. And then last up for the collection, this one has been featured in several videos, the Civivi Mini Praxis. And again, to go along with actually pretty much every knife on here except the Boker, G10 scales, D2 blade, liner lock, deep carry pocket clip. So Civivi and Kizer each got 2 in this category because they just make great quality and good budget knives. Obviously they've also got some good higher end knives, Kizer as well as Civivi with the Wii brand. But for a good solid budget EDC knife like this one I think has always found its way back in my pocket because it is fidgety. Again, the liner lock isn't my favorite, but it's not something that I'm so concerned about that I'm not going to carry it. And I don't know, it's just the perfect size for me. Like I said, I enjoy carrying smaller knives for my EDC knives unless I'm out camping, hiking, or in the woods or something like that. Um, but just for an overall EDC tasks, and I'll be the first to admit my knives probably do not get used as much as they used to now that I'm working an office job. And I hate to say that, and I hate that that's a fact. This fly is driving me nuts. But that's just what it is. And so as life changes, as jobs change, my EDC changes and my needs in my EDC change. So I don't need really, I probably don't even need a fixed blade, but as I've compared before, it's actually smaller than most of my folders that I've got anyways. So I'm not carrying a bigger knife with this fixed blade. Um, I'm just carrying, something that I enjoy. But back to this one, the aesthetics of this one, I think even more than the Kizer Mini Militaw is what drove me to it. It's got a very similar blade shape to my Civivi Odium and the Wii Mini Malice. I love the blade shape of it. I love the lines. I like that it's a good 4-finger knife. You can get your whole hand on there and get a good grip. It's not slipping out of your hands whatsoever. So I would definitely rank this. Man, I don't know. I think if I had to put these in order of my absolute favorite for budget EDC knives, I'm gonna go. That's kind of tough, man. There's some good options, but I would probably say the Mini Praxis would be number one, even above the Drop Bear, and that's a tough call. I mean, these are pretty much neck and neck for spot number one, but I would probably put the Mini Praxis as number one, at least in regards to folders, and then the Drop Bear half a point behind the Civivi Mini Praxis. After that, I'd probably go with the Mini Militaw, the Boker, then the Brazen. So this is the order I would put these in as far as my top 5 favorite. And in the order of most carried, this is probably pretty accurate as well. So if you guys are looking for a good entry knife, good budget friendly EDC, or if you're just looking to pick up, you know, just add something else to your collection, I cannot recommend these 5 knives enough. Again, the only one that was a little above that $50 threshold was the Boker, but I got it on sale, so I'm throwing it in the video because that is, I paid less than 50, so that's why it's in this video. But again, if you guys are looking for a good entry knife, good budget brand, any one of these 5 would be great. Check out Civivi. They've got shapes and styles for every fit and every personality, every style you could want. And it's going to be a lot of the same great budget material. G10, D2, you're going to get a deep carry pocket clip. You're going to get a good liner lock, mostly a flipper tab and thumb studs. So it's good quality. Like I said, I don't care where it's made. If it's a good knife, it's a good knife. And as long as it holds up, which these two definitely have over the time that I've had them, that's all that matters to me. And then Kizer as well. Like I said, Kizer and Civivi are my two most carried brands. And that's for a good reason, because they've got good budget knives. They're good quality, great action. I've never had an issue with any of the heat treatment, anything holding an edge or chipping, breaking, falling apart on me, nothing. And like I said, this is where I'm at currently. I'm not using and abusing my knives anymore like when I was working on the flight line. But for my needs, for my EDC needs, these knives are perfect. They get the job done. They do what I need them to do, and they hold up really well. So again, I'm going to recommend these knives to you because they are all great options. So if you're looking for a slip joint, Boker has a lot of great stuff. I mean, I've seen some of their knives go way up there, but for $50 or $40 that I paid for it, but even $60 if you're paying the full price, that's a great knife, and it's a great, again, great grandpa knife. So last time, check out these 5 knives. We got the Civivi Mini Praxis, Kizer Drop Bear Fixed Blade, Kizer Mini Militaw, Boker Trapper in the Rosewood and D2 Steel, and the Civivi Brazen. So check them out. Let me know what you guys carry or what your favorite budget knife is under $50. I would love to see what y'all are carrying and compare, see how it's changed. But that's all I've got for y'all today. So thank y'all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.